Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about how Skypeia was misjudged, and it's going to be a new series called Unearthing the Underrated. Now, it's going to be a brand new idea that I have, and I want to talk about more anime and manga, sagas or arcs that are underrated. So I think Skypeia is one of them, of course. Since the Garifib's transformation has finally occurred in the anime and is about to be the end of the One arc, finally, man, it took them 4 years to finish it, but hey, well, whatever Oda wants to do, man, I swear. I was thinking that I might do a little flashback on one of the most important arcs in One Piece, Skypeia. To begin with, Skypeia is only hated because of the run of the show during the evolution of the story. During the time, people thought it was only important, or that it wasn't really important to the story at all, such as this Alabasta arc being the best arc in One Piece at the time. Skypeia got the reputation of being boring and not really good for the story, because no one understood the implications that this arc had to the story of One Piece. To understand how the Skypeia arc reputation has changed since its debut, it's helpful to first develop a loose history of the reception from fans. The Skypeia arc aired in Japan throughout 2003 and 2004, roughly coinciding with the first episodes of 4Kids' infamous localization of anime in North America. Given this overlap, the Straw Hat Pirates' journey through the Skypeia was the most recent fully completed arc when One Piece initially exploded in international markets. Because of this timing, as well as Skypeia's status as one of Luffy's first major adventures in the Grand Line, the sequence was placed under increased scrutiny, leading to natural comparisons to the two sagas sandwiched between Alabasta and Enies Lobby. These two narrative sagas are among the best in the entire series, making them an unfair point of reference for the Skypeia arc that naturally led to be devalued by some fans. To make matters worse for the Skypeia arc, it is also debuted during the time when the particular issue started to run rampant throughout the shonen genre, filler episodes. The anime landscape in the mid-2000s was decorated with original syndicated shows that heavily relied upon filler to give the respective manga more time to release content. This includes the other two members of the shonen genre big three, Naruto and Bleach, the latter of which even went on a decade-long hiatus partially because of overuse of non-canon material. While the Skypeia arc is completely canon, its setting and structure, specifically the separation of Skypeia and its antagonist Enel from the rest of the Grand Line, are undeniably similar to the scene in many filler arcs like with Wako Mundo and stuff like that. It's a long thing, of course, leading many anime fans to dismiss it as unimportant to One Piece overarching narrative. Even in the modern day, it is not entirely uncommon to hear fans advise new viewers to skip the events of Skypeia, speaking to a long-term misconception surrounding the arc's importance. Luffy's journey has slowly brought the Skypeia arc back to relevance, due in a large part to his connection to several key themes that appeared throughout the series post-timescale. Despite the unfair criticism thrown its way, the Skypeia arc actually introduces several plot points that become increasingly relevant following the One Piece 2-year timescale. Most importantly, the arc includes Nico Robin's discovery and subsequent translation of the Shindorian poneglyph, which confirms the existence of the ancient weapon known as Poseidon, an asset ultimately revealed to be Princess Shirahoshi during the Fishman Island arc. Although Shirahoshi's abilities to control the Sea Kings has yet to play a major role in the series, he's virtually guaranteed to be one of the deciding factors of the Straw Hats' inevitable war against the world government, making her mention in the Skypeia arc a vital place of foreshadowing. In addition to this information, Robin also finds a message from Roger Pirates on the Shindorian poneglyph that suggests Goldie Roger knew about the true history of the Void Century. During the events of the Sabaody Archipelago arc and the Wano Kuni arc, this theory is confirmed, with the One Piece even showing the Roger's journey to the Skypeia in a brief flashback. The discovery of the Shindorian poneglyph is undoubtedly the most important narrative development of the Skypeia arc, but there are plenty other instances where the sequence lays the groundwork for future events. Enel's monster technique is explained to be One Piece's first instance of observation haki, making him the Straw Hat Pirates' first opponent to use haki. The holler than though antagonist also serves as a catalyst for the explanation of Logia-type devil fruit, shedding some much-needed light on the series' rarest type of devil fruit. Even the Skypeia's geography ends up playing a role in One Piece narrative post-timeskip, as it sets the stage for Kaido's introduction shortly after he plummets for a different sky island located above the New World. While these connections don't excuse the Skypeia arc from all its criticism, they do establish it as an incredibly important to the journey of Monkey D. Luffy and the history of the Grand Line, a claim that would have been heavily contested during the years immediately following the arc's release. Also, during the Skypeia arc, we see the infamous sun god Nika, silhouette that strongly resembles Luffy Garifib's transformation. It's entirely possible that the arc's legacy isn't quite finished yet. This all plays a part of the story building of Luffy being Joy Boy, since the silhouette of Luffy is so iconic for being the biggest foreshadowing in history. Also, during the Skypeia arc, when Luffy beats Enel, the sun shines upon Luffy and the Sky Islanders. The Sky Islanders were essentially praying to God, looking up in the sky, but it was Luffy right there in that situation, which goes back to Joy Boy being a godly figure in the land of One Piece. Another interesting fact about the Sky Island: Sky Island was the first to introduce the sun god and 3 other gods as well, land or earth, either way, Jai, the forest god, the sun god of course, and the rain god. Since Luffy is a sun god, there's got to be 3 other very mythical Zoan fruits in the world waiting to be eaten, or someone's already associated with one of the 3. I kind of want to go a little bit off topic about a theory or about the 4 mythical Zoan fruits or the mythical human fruits. I'm guessing they're mythical human fruits because Luffy's was a human fruit. My theory is that Dragon has the rain fruit, if there is one, with exceptional haki, might I add, because Luffy has all 3 types of haki, including the voice of all things. Garp also has to have Conquerors as well, and that has to prove that Dragon also has Conquerors haki as well. You know, it has to work that way. The user of the Earth God fruit is Blackbeard because Luffy and Blackbeard has always been juxtaposed from each other, being clearly opposites through the entire story. Emu has to have the Forest God fruit, since both times he is shown in the manga, Emu was surrounded by flowers or some sort of a garden. One of the most recent chapters kind of disproved my theory because Emu is having the extremely powerful devil fruit, possibly being the Zoan type devil fruit, since the apparition is more like an animal than anything. It's kind of weird how, I don't know. Additionally, I'm certain that Luffy versus Enel was a macrocosm of a larger conflict to come. The D's, Luffy or Garp or Blackbeard or any D in general, versus the gods, the celestial dragons, or Emu of course. Once again, the juxtapose between Luffy and Blackbeard is really shown in this art during the bar fight part of the saga when Luffy and Zoro talk to a different Blackbeard, supposedly in quotations. Therefore, Skypeia being the catalyst between Luffy and Blackbeard being exponentially different from each other. My rant about the 4 god devil fruits and Luffy and Blackbeard went a little too far. My bad, I apologize. I want to get a little deeper with the Jaya arc and how dreams are the focal point of Skypeia, including One Piece in general. Also, the continuation of Luffy fulfilling Kalgata's promise to ring the bell when Nolan arrived to save Skypeia. In the beginning of the Skypeia arc, Oda begins his arc with a quote from Willie Carnan, a physicist who said anything man can imagine is possibility in reality. And with that, Oda plans to siege for not just the Skypeia arc, but the remainder of One Piece. Jaya establishes the importance of dreams in the world of pirates. When Luffy doesn't fight Bellamy in Mocktown, it is made abundantly clear that a pirate without dreams isn't worth fighting because those who stand grounded to the reality that will never attain the heights of one with such high aspirations as Luffy and Goldie Roger and even Blackbeard. Finding the One Piece is just as a mystery to people of the Grand Line as proving the existence of Sky Islands. And Oda specifically draws a comparison between the two. In Mocktown, when Luffy meets Bellamy, a pirate grounded in reality, laughs at the idea of One Piece, and more specifically of the existence of Sky Islands, but Luffy embraces them. Even when Luffy is ridiculed for believing in dreams, he realizes that Bellamy is a person not worth fighting, as he knows he is right, and fighting a man without any dreams would do absolutely nothing. Oda deeply tugs at the heartstrings of the reader when Nolan and Kagera are separated. The very same knockout string that the Straw Hat Pirates with the Skypeia lifted half of Jaya into the sky. The promise of Nolan visiting Jaya once more and Kagera ringing the Great Bell is left unfulfilled. Chandoria is taken over by a god of Skypeia, and the Shandians wait for the promise to eventually be fulfilled. It isn't very hard to see that it's very much like what the true story of One Piece is all about. Joy Boy's promise is left unfulfilled and is eventually passed down generations till Luffy can finally fulfill it. In a similar manner to Shandia, the ancient kingdom fell after the Void Century to the gods of the One Piece world, who are the celestial dragons. In the Skypeia art, Skypeia is ruled by Enel, a man who believes himself to be God. The fact that the true villains of One Piece are the celestial dragons who hold the very same beliefs is no surprise. Oda specifically chose Luffy, a D or a descendant of Joy Boy, to vanish Enel, a god, and label him the enemy of gods. In retrospect, this was simply Oda's way of telling fans what is to come in the endgame of One Piece. I want to talk about some of the best parts about this art that shows the world building that Oda is doing to help the story grow, literally, and some of the stuff that still needs to be figured out during the story of One Piece. There are 3 things that I really want to talk about to gauge the whole atmosphere of Skypeia, of course. First thing I want to talk about, what is Fairy Verth? I believe this is the moon that Enel traveled to after being destroyed by Luffy, if this helps clear things up. At the time, Enel was talking about this place forever during Skypeia before fighting Luffy, thus this has to be the moon, the planet called Verth. There's a city on the moon called Burka, sharing the name of the Burka people. The ancient people of Burka formed a civilization on the clouds, and the ancient Shidorians formed a civilization on Jaya. An island on the blue sea called Shindora, and the Skypeia people formed an island nation on the clouds as well. So that is all the civilization of the world of Skypeia. So Fairy Verth has to be the moon, the location of the civilization that has to come down to the end of One Piece. The civilization that has to come down with Enel, of course. The second thing I want to talk about, what is Summit of High West? Now, this took me a little bit to understand. High West is the other entrance you can take to get into the Sky Islands. During the Whole Cake arc, during Big Mom's flashback, we see the Atom Tree, or the people of Skypeia also call it High West. We can see it towers over the rest of the islands over the mountains. It seems that this tree could easily be high enough to reach 7,000 meters required to get to the White Sea, or over the 10,000 meters required to get to the White Sea. Which entrance has to be Elbaf, the biggest arc of all time possibly. I really hope that Usopp gets conquerors from this shit. And lastly, where is the treasure of Jaya? Now this is the hardest question I could not find. This ties into the lore of Jaya being shot up to Skypeia 400 years ago during the knockup stream. Once we get the ending of Skypeia's saga, we see that everything has been taken by a nail to build a ship, all in gold. Other than the poneglyphs that Roger and Odin left behind, this is the only problem with the art in my opinion, since there's really no explanation of what the treasure is or what it could be or what it should have been. I think it just tied into the backstory of the gold, like Nolan finding the gold city. I think that's what the treasure is. I think that's what the treasure of Jaya is. All this comes together as one of the greater arcs of all time in any anime or any manga. Skypeia. It is finally getting its respect as it deserves after 20 years of being forgotten about. Skypeia is the accumulation of all the arcs in One Piece telling the whole One Piece story. Now this arc is amazing through and through. Skypeia is the focal point of One Piece, and if you want to understand One Piece at a whole nother level, just watch Skypeia and you will thank me later. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I appreciate for the couple of subscribers that came in and liked my video and everything like that. It's kind of weird how my video kind of blew up, my last video. Yeah, I'm getting used to it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like you're talking in front of, you know, a lot of people, and you know, I'm not really making this video to like do this stuff. I just love One Piece and I love anime. I love manga mostly, but hope you guys enjoy this video regardless. Hope you have a good ass day. Zebras out, man.